Hello, my name is Alberto Cruz. This is Project Week 6, and my speech is regarding violence and video games. Do violent video games promote violence? That is a toughy subject to discuss. There's a lot of pros and a lot of cons regarding it. Some people say yes, some people say no. Of course, it's a definitely important subject to me because I have a 9-year-old son and an 8-year-old daughter. The daughter doesn't play as much, but the son does play video games. So it's kind of a subject that I feel it's a little close to home when it comes to the violence. Of course, whenever a massacre occurs, they love to blame it on video games. They got to find a reason to blame it on something. When the Columbine incident occurred, automatically they blame it on video games. Apparently, those 2 kids that committed the massacre were used to play video games. I believe it was Wolfenstein. So they feel that had a reason for their violence. When we had the Virginia Tech shooting, they blamed that on video games also. But then some additional research was done, and apparently the suspect did not play video games. So it's kind of like a 50-50 yes or no type deal. The whole violent video games thing started back, I believe, is in 1976 when a video game called Game Death was, released. It was an outcry for the video game because apparently the video game was that you had to drive and run over some gremlins, and people felt that the gremlins resembled human beings. There was further games later on to that when Mortal Kombat came out, and I believe it was about 1993 or so when the video came out. It was more outcry because of the violence in Mortal Kombat, prompting to in 1994 the rating ESRB ratings, which is the ones that you see on the video games. It says mature, +10, general, everybody. That's when that came out back in 1994 because of the outcry, and also to, I guess, to kind of like make it a little harder for just anybody to walk into a store and buy video games. According to procon.org, about 97% of children play video games between the ages of 12 and 17. That's a rather big number, 97%. It makes you wonder what the other percent are doing with their day, which is probably something that we all should be doing, something healthy. My personal opinion, video games might have a link with violence with children, but I think it also depends on other factors. I don't personally believe, and of course not everybody's going to agree with my beliefs. Everybody will have informed their own opinion, and we're all welcome to our own. But I don't think that video games alone is what causes juveniles to commit violent acts. According to a study, like I said again, on procon.org, I believe it's between the years of 98 to 2005, juvenile violence actually decreased. There was a 43.9% decrease in juvenile violent crimes. So if video games really are one of the major causes, then how would that correlate with the fact that juvenile crime has lowered? Now, that was back in 2005 to 2013. I'm pretty sure that those numbers might have fudged a little bit. But video games be more violent, be more realistic. Technology, it's making things, people now, video games look like real human beings walking around. Before, they look like little stick figures with blurry faces. Now it really looks like the person. And of course, video games now are so easy to attain. You don't even have to have a console at your home now. You can have it on your cell phone, you can have it on your tablets, you can have it on laptops. So it went from just having controlled in your home to you can get aboard an airplane and download a video game where you blow up airplanes or some crazy stuff like that. But again, it's in my personal opinion, and like I said, everybody's going to have their own. I don't feel that the video game alone is the reasoning behind juvenile crime or massacres at that point. Could it be a factor? It probably could be a factor. I mean, I think that maybe depending on the family upbringing, I feel like if a juvenile is always in violence, and I'm not talking all about video games, violence at the house, violence in schools, going to tough schools where they're being bullied and beaten, where there's gang members, then that would probably correlate towards that child be more violent. A person has a nice home, it becomes a little more, a little toss up on that one. But again, like I said, that's just my personal opinion, and there's a lot of studies of it. You can do your own. NBCnews.org did one where they did an MRI on people who played a video game and who did not play a video game right after they finished playing it, and it showed something with the brain waves that were different. You be the judge on yourself on that one. Like I said, it's a tough subject, and it's one that's open to major discussion. Thank you.